Have you found balance in your life? After this video, you'll be able to determine if you have or not. Hey y'all, welcome back. It is April. I'm so excited. Let's get into it. Today, I'm about to talk about one of my favorite topics to talk about, and that is work-life balance, okay? And the importance of work-life balance when it comes to your physical and mental well-being, okay? So let me just give y'all this little blurb first of all, right? Maintaining a healthy work-life balance is essential for both your physical and your mental well-being, right? When work overwhelms your personal life, guess what, y'all? It can lead to stress, burnout, and health issues. While on the flip side, a balanced life promotes happiness, productivity, and longevity. Did y'all know that? Or y'all knew that, but y'all just didn't care. Y'all wasn't doing what y'all supposed to be doing. Let's get into it. So let's start with the first one. When you have a healthy work-life balance, it reduces stress and it helps prevent burnout, right? So chronic stress comes from overworking yourself, right? That then leads to anxiety, irritability, and exhaustion, okay? And guess who gets the short end of that stick when you are irritable, right? When you're anxious and you're exhausted? Your loved ones. Not your employer, but your loved ones. Now, is that fair? I don't think it is. I don't think it is at all. So what can you do? I'm going to tell you. First of all, take your breaks at work. Stop doing a working lunch. If you don't know what a working lunch is, a working lunch is literally when you're still working through your lunch break. So you be eating, but you're working while you're eating. Stop doing that. Do you think the CEO of that company is working through his lunch? I don't think so. Stop doing that. Stop doing that, okay? Set boundaries. Set boundaries. Be able to explain to your employer that, I have these boundaries in place. I work 9 to 5, 8 to 4, 7 to 3, 6 to 2, 11 to 7, 3 to 11, all that other good stuff. When I'm working, I'm all yours. But when I'm not working, that's my time to myself. My time. What Maxine Waters said, I'm reclaiming my time. Time to reclaim it. So set those boundaries in place. We're not answering emails and work calls before it's time or after hours. Unless for whatever reason you have one of like those on-call jobs. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Or if you're on like this big project and like the deadline came quicker and you slacked off, that's different. Because it's kind of like your consequences, right? You didn't do what you were supposed to do ahead of time, unfortunately, right? So yes, set those boundaries. Know how to politely say no, professionally say no, right? I would love to help, but right now I don't have the capacity to do so. That's okay to say that. Can this be moved to a later date? If not, okay, well, unfortunately, I can't take you on that project. Right? It's okay. Engage in personal activities that help you reduce cortisol levels, right? Go to your doctor and they'll tell you all about the cortisol levels, but that's the stress. That stress hormone. Okay? You need to engage in activities that will help you reduce those things for you. That's going to help you reduce the stress. Because the more you can reduce the stress, the better you can just live happily ever after. And the more likely you are to go back to work the next day and be like, okay, cool, I can do my job because I know once I'm off the clock, I'm off the clock. I'm just saying. And also this goes for entrepreneurs as well. I know I'm also speaking from like people who work for other people, But these same methods can apply and should be applied to those of you who are entrepreneurs just like myself, right? Because I have my cutoff days where I don't do nothing. And sometimes you need to just have your set days where it's just, this is a me day, this is a relaxation day, or I like to call it my couch potato day, where I absolutely engage in nothing. That's important. But making sure you just have a well-balanced schedule is so helpful because, again, it will prevent burnout and it will improve your long-term performance at work. I will say, employers, you should want to make sure that your employees have a well-balanced schedule as well, because this also benefits you and your company to, hopefully reduce the turnover rate that your job or your company may be experiencing. Just saying. So, yeah. Okay. It improves your physical health. If you have a great work-life balance, it can improve your physical health, right? So, work overload, because y'all know I'm gonna give y'all the facts. Work overload can cause unhealthy habits like poor diet, right? Lack of exercising, and sleep deprivation. Why? Because you are depriving yourself of all these things. You're not sleeping enough because you feel like I gotta catch them all. Like what was that in Pokemon when we was kids? I gotta catch them all. No, you don't gotta catch nothing. You gotta catch those Z's. Go to sleep. Get some relaxation going on here so that you can be rejuvenated the next day. Go to bed. Go to bed. Okay? Poor diet, because 9 times out of 10, when you are not when you don't have a balanced work life, and like I said, remember, a working lunch, especially for people who do working lunch, sometimes they don't bring their lunch. You're more inclined to grab something for the fast food place, or whatever the case may be, or you're working so late that you don't have time to cook a healthy meal throughout the week, at least once or twice throughout the week, and have leftovers. You're constantly going to the drive-throughs and whatnot. It's not healthy. It's not healthy. And then you're not exercising because guess what? You always work and you ain't got no time to exercise. And that does not work. That's not okay. That's going to harm you in the long run. In the short run too, the whole time. Also, did y'all know that sleep deprivation weakens the immune system and increases the risk of heart disease and diabetes? As the old folks like to say, the sugar. So you have to get your sleep. Sleep is very important. It's very important. A lot of people don't realize they don't connect the two. But sleep is extremely important and extremely helpful because your body do need the time to sit down and relax and just reset itself. Okay? Regular movement and relaxation improves your heart rate or heart health. It also improves your metabolism and just overall energy. Just saying. Just saying. So if you want to learn how to balance this out, just set aside some work-free hours so that you can engage in your exercising. You can meal prep and you can get the proper rest. At the very basics. Okay? Also, having a very well balanced work life, it boosts your mental and emotional well-being. Just saying. Because guess what? Constant work pressure can lead to, again, anxiety, depression, and irritability. I'm going to say it one more time. It leads to anxiety, depression, and irritability. Okay? So therefore, we need to engage in hobbies, social activities, and personal time enhances mood and reduces the risk of mental health disorders, which is where your anxiety and your depression comes in. So if you're engaging in those hobbies, in those social activities, it allows you to put yourself first. What Cookie said, I gotta put me first, Lucius. Put yourself first. You have to. If I'm being honest, kind of put yourself first over your job. What's the harm in that? Because it doesn't mean you're going to be less of a good, it's going to make you less of a great employee. No, it just means you know that if I'm good, everything that comes after that that's going to trickle down will be good. Because you cannot pour from an empty vessel. You can't. It doesn't work that way. Just saying. Just saying. Also, make sure you have, some very good supporting relationships that can also help you with staying on task and help you improve your resiliency against stress. Because with the right people in your corner, you are more inclined to stay on top of your health and making sure you are making sure you do have that balance that's going on there. Because if you don't, guess what? You tend to continue to go down the wrong path, and that doesn't work for nobody. It especially doesn't work for you. But if you got a family that you care for very much, a spouse, kids, all that good jazz, they gonna see, and you can't give them you, because guess what? It's also not fair that you give that job all of you and you give yourself and your family this little bitty itty bitty tinge of you. You give your job all of this, but you give yourself this. How that work? So make sure you are scheduling time for yourself, for your me time, scheduling time for your family, scheduling times for your friends, all that other good stuff. Okay? The other thing is, it also increases productivity and job satisfaction. Because again, remember I just said, if you are well rested, if you are able to enjoy your life, if you are able to put yourself first, if you are able to find that balance and be happy outside of work, you are more inclined to show up to work every day, as long as you don't hate your boss or anything like that. But you're more inclined to show up to work every day in a much better spirit, because you know that you also have the capacity to pour into yourself, and you continue to pour into yourself, right? So when you have a healthy balance, when you know how to cut work off, and now it's all you are more than likely to show up and be more productive. When you get your good sleep at night or in the morning, depending on your work schedule, you wake up feeling more energized and you can be your best self. Just saying. It gives you mental clarity. Now you can problem solve even better because you got your mind is clear. Just saying. And then the other thing is that I just want to point out is that it enhances your relationships and personal growth. Because you can now feed into other people that you care about, that you feel that is important to you to feed into when you feel like it. Because what I'm not saying is put a boundary on your work life, but not a boundary in your personal life. That's not what I'm saying. You put a boundary everywhere. Draw the line in the sand everywhere it needs to be. Okay? Just saying. Because when you're overworking, y'all know it puts strains on certain relationships, right? You're wondering why your loved one's mad at you or not talking to you or feel away because you never make time for them. And you know that when you are overworked, remember I talked about irritability. Remember I said, who gets the short end of the stick? Your loved ones, because unintentionally, you're taking it out on them, and they ain't did nothing. They just wanted to be loved by you. They just wanted a little attention. They just wanted you to show up for them like you show up for that work, like they try to show up for you and support you through all of this. Just saying. Your personal growth can increase because guess what? You get to pour into your hobbies. You get to learn the new skill that's been on your to-do list forever. You get to travel somewhere new that you've been wanting to do forever. Just saying. You get to determine what long-term happiness look like for you and map out how that's going to look. What retirement looks like for you and map out what you want that to consist of. You get to do all of those things. And so again, set those clear boundaries between work and personal life. We not answering work emails after hours. We not answering the phone after hours. Again, unless you like on call, that's a different story. We not doing those things. If your hours say 8 to 5, 8 to 4, 9 to 5, 10 to 2, 10 to 11, whatever. That's when you are fully engaged in your work responsibilities. But outside of that, Now, if you working overtime, that's different. You signed up to work overtime. That's your responsibilities. But other than that, nope. That's not what we're doing. That's not what we're doing. So I'm going to leave y'all with this little final thought because I didn't want this to be long and exhaustive. Okay? Work-life balance isn't just a luxury, but it's a necessity. Let me say it one more time. Work-life balance isn't just a luxury. It is a necessity. Okay? Again, it enhances your physical health, your mental well-being, and your overall life satisfaction. So be sure to prioritize your self-care, okay, y'all? Your relationships, your downtime, so that it can lead to a happier, healthier, and more successful life for you and those around you that you deem to be important in your circle. Okay? With that being said, I will see y'all soon. Happy April. Let's get this month started on a good note, y'all. Bye.